It wasn't too long ago that Soundcore released their Liberty 4 earbuds, so I was quite surprised to hear about the new Liberty 4 NC. Obviously related in some way, and one might think that the NC simply means they add noise cancellation, but the Liberty 4s already have ANC, so I was immediately intrigued. But having tested these this past month, I think I've figured them out. The Liberty 4 NC seemed to take the template of the Liberty 4 and combine that with the best aspects from each of their earbud series. So that's the battery life and ANC performance from their Space series, like the A40s we recently featured in the best earbuds under $100 video. But also the sound quality from their Liberty series, but with a price tag that fits into the Life series. It results in not just Soundcore's best earbuds yet, but I think the new market leader for earbuds under $100. A quick unboxing first then, and something I immediately noticed is there's a lot more paper and a lot less plastic. All companies should be taking environmentally friendly steps, so that's a great start. You'll find the usual paperwork like the quick start guide, a short USB A to C charging cable, and also 3 extra sizes for the ear tips. So the charging case at first appears similar to that of the Liberty 4. The finish is perhaps slightly less premium feeling, but the design of the lid mechanism has changed, perhaps for the better. Rather than a sliding mechanism, which some have questioned the durability of, is now a button to snap open the case. I actually like this a lot because it now makes the earbuds super easy to both grab from the case and also to put back, with some satisfying strong magnets taking care of things for you. The button glows with the battery and charging indicator and doubles up as the manual pairing button too. Whilst we're at it, we might as well talk about the battery, because this is extremely impressive. Like the Space A40, these offer 10 hours on a single charge and 50 in total with the case. Rounding that out with a nice fast charge feature as well as wireless charging, you're looking at arguably the industry leader for battery. The earbuds themselves though are similar in shape to the Liberty 4. The obvious differences are the new matte and gloss two-tone finish, the opaque ear tips as opposed to transparent, and of course the slightly larger size. We get a really great range of colour options to choose from here. That's actually an important benefit over flagship models that tend to stick to black or white, or, just white if you're Apple. The case is a colour match with the earbuds, as are the ear tips, which is a nice touch. Despite the larger size, these are still a very comfortable pair of earbuds that can be worn for long periods of time. That stem design should suit most ears and fits into position without much fuss at all. They stay in place securely, at least in my ears, and offer good passive noise isolation. If you're struggling, there's an in-app fit test to help you find the right ear tips and check the seal in your ears. There's also an IPX4 water resistance with these, so they would make a good option for workouts, including running and lying flat on a workout bench, which are made sure to test. Touch controls make a return, replacing the squeeze gesture from the Liberty 4, and that's a change I'm definitely happy about. There was no squeeze and hold gesture, so the controls were quite limited, but with the NC we get more gestures and also full customization over those controls in the app. Wearing detection makes a return too, so that's an added perk over some of Soundcore's Life and Space series earbuds. But 2 complaints I'd address are 1, the relatively small contact area for the touch controls, that takes some getting used to for sure, and 2, the relatively long delay to auto pause when using wearing detection. I'll take this opportunity to reiterate how great Soundcore's app experience is. It's clean, intuitive, and pretty feature-packed too. There's no more wellness section from the Liberty 4, a change I'm honestly fine with since I never ended up using it, and actually the NC model removed the heartbeat sensors to cut down on costs. There are handy app tools though, like battery tracking, including for the case, Find My Earbuds, and a custom auto power off. But also customization over the prompt tones, toggling game mode and auto pause, of course the touch controls, and then Soundcore's abundance of sophisticated EQ options. You'll find less common extras here though, like the new sound leak compensation to optimize the sound quality, and especially the save volume feature. You can actually view the current decibel level of your music in real time, which is pretty interesting, and then set a high volume limit so that you can be safer with your listening and protect your hearing. It's a really nice feature. But the app features front and center are of course the ANC modes, and as the name of the earbud suggests, this is something Soundcore have really focused on. So first of all, you get a lot more customization and control. You'll see you can choose between either adaptive, manual, or a particular transport mode to start off with. There's an additional wind noise reduction toggle as well, but the key new feature is environmental detection. The earbuds can now make more precise adjustments in real time to react to environmental noise. There are new algorithms and sensors to provide a more accurate adaptive ANC for each person and for each environment they might find themselves in. The result is Soundcore's best noise cancellation yet, surpassing the Space A40 and far ahead of the Liberty 4. It's easily the strongest I've heard at this price point and even rivals the market leaders. These would have placed in my Earbuds Awards video for ANC. That's how good these are, and the only rivals that beat these cost around 3 times as much. The noise cancellation is excellent and exceptionally good for the price. I tend to find the adaptive mode takes care of things just fine for me, but I did appreciate that the wind noise reduction actually seemed to have an effect this time in certain situations. As for the transparency mode, well, thanks to a recent update, that's nice and clear and amplifies your surroundings well. There are also two separate modes for transparency, with the other focusing on voices, though I personally find this less effective than full transparency. To run through some connectivity specs then, these get the latest Bluetooth 5.3 with LE support included, as well as the SBC, AAC and LDAC codecs, so there is a high-res audio option too. As I mentioned, these do support multipoint, which is always great to see, and the dual connections tab in the app actually allows you to add the second device without interrupting what you're doing on the first. Very nice. But I was surprised to see Google Fast Pair support as well, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is the first time we've seen that in a Soundcore earbud. There's no issue at all with lip sync on videos, and the game mode works quite effectively, bringing down the latency to acceptable levels for even fast-paced games like COD Mobile.
Okay, so I'm recording right now through the Liberty 4 NC microphones, just to give you a sense of the microphone quality during phone calls, and it is very good. Still a lot of background noise today, there's also a lot of wind, but these are doing an excellent job of isolating my voice. Now, some of you may remember that the Liberty 4 placed in second in the Earbuds Awards for the microphone quality category. That was against all earbuds, so I expected these to be good, and indeed they are. Now, to be completely honest, I would still place these a couple of places lower than the Liberty 4 just because of the overall clarity. However, because the noise cancellation is so good with these, it's actually a lot easier for you to hear the caller during the call, which is obviously another important factor for phone calls. So either way, if you want to use these for phone calls, these are an excellent choice.
And finally, let's talk about sound quality. So the NC model don't get Soundcore's ACAA dual driver architecture. That's one of the ways they can keep the cost low, and instead these have 11mm dynamic drivers. As you might expect, the bass is strong and powerful, and something you can really crank up and get thumping using the EQ. But two things immediately stood out to me. One is that these are loud. I can happily listen at 50 to 60% volume where this would normally be 60 to 70 in most other earbuds, and the max volume is almost deafening. And the second thing is just how well balanced these are. Vocals in the mid-range still come through clearly, and no frequencies feel overpowered. They've also fixed the overly harsh treble of the Liberty 4, but they haven't done this by rolling off the highs too much and losing out on detail. I think it's more to do with the driver setup, and it does mean consequently that there isn't quite as much clarity or crisp treble, but importantly, you don't need to spend any time in the EQ fixing the sound. They sound great straight out of the box. In fact, these are one of the best sounding earbuds at this price right now, and I actually really enjoy the more relaxing sound profile. Hear ID returns and is the best it's ever been thanks to some small iterations that refine the experience. You start by telling the app when you can hear a series of different frequencies, and this sets your baseline adjusted to your hearing level. For me, this came out completely flat because my hearing is good, so in the past Hear ID hasn't been that useful. But now there's a second step where you can then choose between A/B profiles, which tunes the sound according to your preference. At the end, you can further personalize the sound by using this custom profile as a template and combining this with either a custom or a preset EQ. So the whole process is intuitive for those who might be inexperienced, but offers enough detailed customization that more advanced users can really fine-tune the sound exactly as they want. Soundcore's entire EQ system really is excellent. There's also a surround sound EQ option, and in the past I've never really liked these. They work great for movies and games and really enhance those experiences, but I found the echo to usually make this unsuitable for music. But I've actually really enjoyed it here with the Liberty 4 NC, and it's definitely at least worth trying out. This isn't quite spatial audio though, and it isn't head-tracked either, but I was surprised to find I enjoyed the added layer of immersion this gave me, even for music. If you watched my top earbuds under $100 video a few weeks ago, you'll know that the Soundcore Space A40 were one of the best, but the one thing holding them back was the sound quality. Well, the Liberty 4 NC fixed that problem, but keep all of the great things about the A40s and still come in under $100, so I can safely say that these would go straight to number 1 in that video. In fact, at just $79.99 here in the UK, with all of those flagship level specs and features, I'm struggling to think of a better value earbud on the market right now. These are perfectly positioned in the Soundcore lineup, with the best features of the higher priced Liberty earbuds, but adding in features like multipoint, wearing detection and Hear ID sound versus cheaper ones like the Life P3. This is the model that most people should buy. For those interested, here's how these compare with the Liberty 4. No doubt many people will have questions about this, so hopefully the breakdown of the differences helps. The name is still a bit confusing, but with the significant ANC improvement, Soundcore have at least done enough to justify the NC in the name of the new earbuds. Plus, the handful of bonus features and improvements definitely make the Liberty 4 NC my new favourite Soundcore earbuds. So on the whole, this is clearly a pretty glowing review all round, but I think deservedly so. The value for money here is just insanely good, and when you look at competitors like the AirPods Pro 2 at $249, the contrast in value is just crazy. I really think these are going to be tough to beat. Let me know what you think about these in the comment section, and of course ask any questions you may have. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos go live. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.